Right now at 7, a manhunt is ramping up for the suspect accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The FBI releasing chilling surveillance video showing a suspect running from the scene.
And an arrest has been made after a church in East Texas was vandalized. But we're learning about the suspect and the possible motive.
And good news for people looking to buy a house. Mortgage rates are dropping. We have those details just ahead.
And we got Friday Night Football happening tonight. I'll take a look at the latest on the forecast details coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS19 Plus.
Good Friday morning, y'all. Thanks so much for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Jesus Martinez.
We're so glad you're with us. I'm Dana Dixon. We're starting out your Friday a little warm and humid out there, but you know what? It's Friday, and there's the good news.
Right, there's some good news there. But yeah, unfortunately, the humidity is going to be here to stay for quite some time, and even those temperatures. But the temperatures right now are actually right on average for this time of year. Live look and tie, though, by the way. We just absolutely gorgeous out there. Upper 60s to low 70s. This is right on par for this time of year as far as our low temperatures go, but the high temperatures, well, that's going to be a little bit of a different story, which I'll show you in just a little bit here. But the dew points, that's our measurement of moisture, have increased, which means the moisture has also increased. So you're definitely going to be feeling that humidity out there. As you take a run outside, I think you'll be better off running in the morning because by this afternoon, we're going to be in those low to mid 90s. So you might as well just hit the treadmill at that point. Now, over the next 3 days, we're going to continue to track the low 90s all the way through. We do have a slight chance for an isolated shower, better so on Saturday. We'll take a look at the latest on the Future Skycast later on.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. 7:02 this morning. Right now, state and federal investigators are continuing the search for the person who killed political activist Charlie Kirk.
The FBI released new video late last night, and in that video you can see him dropping from the roof of a building after the shooting. Then he runs across some grass by a parking lot and into a nearby wooded area where a gun was found. Officials say footprints show he was wearing Converse tennis shoes and palm smudges on the building that may contain DNA. Utah's governor gave a brief update on the search last night.
We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing.
The FBI says they also recovered that weapon they believe was used in the shooting. It was a high-powered bolt-action rifle that was recovered in a wooded area in the same area that the shooter fled to. Charlie Kirk's casket is now back in his hometown of Phoenix, Arizona. It was flown from Utah aboard Air Force Two along with his friend, Vice President J.D. Vance. After arrival, there was a procession to the funeral home. No word on funeral plans at this point, but President Trump said he will be in attendance. And coming up at 7:30, we'll have a live report from Utah on the latest in the search for Charlie Kirk's killer.
Well, meanwhile, today, some historically black colleges and universities have canceled classes and activities after getting potential threats. They prompted lockdowns at 6 schools in Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and Louisiana yesterday. The FBI said it is aware of these hoax threat calls to multiple historically black universities. We are checking with our East Texas schools. So far, no reported lockdowns here.
And the shooting has also prompted a lot of changes on the internet. TikTok is working to remove all close-up videos of the shooting, along with specific search terms like raw video footage and actual incident footage that were popping up as suggested terms. Online gaming platform Roblox says that they're also removing any user-generated games related to this incident. Meta is also adding warning labels to videos of the shooting and removing any content that glorifies or supports the suspected shooter.
Meanwhile, students across the country, including at Tyler Junior College, are reflecting on Charlie Kirk's impacts.
CBS 19's Ayana Aird has that story.
Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old founder of Turning Point USA, was shot and killed September 10th while addressing students at Utah Valley University.
Counting gang violence. Great.
Authorities say a sniper opened fire from a rooftop as thousands were present, sending shockwaves across the political and academic world.
Really, it's heartbreaking
disappointing that it happened this way.
At first, I was shocked. I didn't think it was real.
Kirk built a national following by encouraging young people to get involved in politics. His organization, Turning Point USA, now has chapters on thousands of campuses, including right here at Tyler Junior College.
He was set out in the middle of a campus, and he was doing his the thing he's most famous for, which is interacting with students. And we do that on a much smaller scale here at TJC in our organization, but we thought it was important.
Amanda Jo Radcliffe, a professor at TJC and advisor for Turning Point USA, says the organization wanted to provide a space for students to process the tragedy.
It not only affects the people of Turning Point USA, but also affects the people who just kind of watch them here and there.
TJC's Turning Point's president Eva Soli has attended several of Kirk's events. She says his death emphasizes the need for unity and respect, even across political divides.
We need to find unity that we're all Americans and that we're all people and that we all have value to life. Like, you can't replace a life of a human, and it's not okay to hurt anyone or just because you disagree with them.
At Tyler Junior College, I'm Ayana Aird, CBS 19.
And we'll be tracking this story all day long with updates on air and on our streaming app, CBS 19 Plus. It is free to download on Roku Fire and Apple TV. 7:07 now, the Smith County Sheriff's Office says they've arrested the person responsible for destroying a Jesus statue outside a Smith County church. Authorities say 36-year-old Jordan Gray Clark used a hammer to cause all that damage. Church leaders at St. Mary Magdalene Catholic Church were shocked to find the statue in such a bad state early Sunday morning with its hands, wrist, and face smashed. Clark has been charged with a criminal mischief at a place of worship, which is a state felony, and is being held at the Smith County Jail on a $400,000 bond.
So far, no arrests have been made after a child overdosed on her grandmother's medication. This happened Wednesday night. Tyler police say the victim was a 9-year-old girl with autism. She was rushed to the hospital but died before they could transfer her to a Dallas hospital. Police say the blood pressure medicine was prescribed to the grandmother. 7:08 now, time for morning headlines. It's not something you see every day at the airport. The tip of a plane smashing into a terminal window. This is the damage that was left behind from that incident at Richmond International Airport. A spokesperson for the airport says a ramp worker pushed the plane back too far and it hit the window, damaging 3 windows. Now, those windows are part of an airport restaurant. No one was hurt. Passengers took a new plane to their destination. And this morning, some good news for anyone looking to buy a home. Mortgage rates are dropping for the first time in months. According to data released by Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage rate averaged 6.35% for the week ending yesterday. That's down from 6.5% last week, and it is the sharpest weekly drop in borrowing cost so far this year. Mortgage demand is increasing as a result, with both new loans and refinancing applications up compared to a year ago. And FIFA World Cup action kicks off in more than 270 days, and it is already one of the hottest tickets. 1.5 million people registered to get tickets on Wednesday. When registration opened, people waited online for more than an hour for a countdown clock to pop up on the FIFA website. You still have until September 19th to register to buy a face value ticket in the ticket lottery. And you can own your own castle right here in Texas. Lambermont is on the market for near Fort Sam Houston, that is, Army Post in San Antonio. The limestone mansion was originally built in 1894 for U.S. Ambassador to Belgium, Edwin Terrell. It has 4 floors, 9 bedrooms, formal dining rooms, and a basement as well. The owners are not disclosing the price of the one-of-a-kind castle.
We'll go 50-50, whatever it is.
All right, another Friday and another exciting night for football. It is week 3 of high school football season.
Yeah, we have some exciting matchups this week, including a big rivalry. Check this one out. It is our game of the week. Lindale and Van facing off in the home of the Eagles. It is a matchup of 2 undefeated teams. Lindale coming off a narrow win over Mount Pleasant, and it's looking to flex its defensive muscles against a Van team that put up 38 points in the last 2 games. Our Damien Bartonek, he's sleeping in this morning because he'll be out there reporting from Lindale Live later tonight.
And our on-site game takes us to the battle for Lake Tyler, Chapel Hill versus White House. A rivalry renewed between two teams going in different directions right now. White House coming off a 49-14 beatdown to Kilgore, and now they face off against another Bulldog squad in Chapel Hill, who are coming off a massive come-from-behind win over one of the top teams in East Texas, the Gilmer Buckeyes. The Bulldogs are also home to our Player of the Week, DeMarcion Blaylock, who scored 8 touchdowns in 8 quarters of football just in the last 2 weeks. This is also where our Under the Lights kickoff show will be tonight from 6:30 to 7.
And another game on our radar, Newton at Tatum. This one is going to be one of the biggest tests for the Tatum squad. That's coming off a big win over Dangerfield that we saw right here on our streaming game last week on CBS19+. Newton is coming off a huge win against top-ranked Jefferson. It will give the running tough Eagle offense a handful to deal with. Robert De La Garza is going to be out of that game later tonight. All right, well, here in East Texas, we've been teased with fall. It happens every year. And can you feel it, right? Cooler mornings, football Fridays, and maybe even a little pumpkin spice latte or two to sneak in your day and get it going.
That's right, absolutely. And since East Texas really shows off this time of year, today's question of the day is a fun one. What is your favorite fall activity? Maybe it's hitting those Friday night lights, taking the kids to a pumpkin patch, or just cozying up on the porch with a hot cup of coffee while those leaves start to change. Oh, I love it.
Or a cold one. I like cold coffee. All right, drop your answers in the comments. We love hearing your fall favorites. We'll be sharing some of those responses throughout our show. So don't be shy. We got a couple of ones so far, but I think by far my favorite one is just wearing the flannels.
Oh, you like
I'm a flannel guy.
Me too.
Obviously,
me too.
We need to go flannel shopping.
I don't know if that's a fall activity, but it is a fall something.
Yeah.
For me,
it is a fall action.
Action. I associate flannel shopping with fall.
Oh, so you want to go flannel shirt shopping?
Yes, and then just show off the flannels. Like in the fall, you'll see me with flannels every single
What
day.
about you,
It's
Joel?
amazing.
That's great. I love our cider mills thing down here, where you get like apple cider, pumpkin patch, and
We do
hay
have
rides.
pumpkin patches, yes.
And hay rides and stuff. I can just smell the hay, and that reminds me when I was a kid,
I
and I would
know.
go there, and it was a lot of fun.
I used to love to take my kids to the pumpkin patch. So fun. Now they're to be like, Mom, not a chance.
No, it's not a good hay ride if it's not a little chilly, and then there's like little boogers coming out of your nose as a kid. You remember those times?
Sure, yeah. we'll go with that.
Being honest.
I'm going to move on to my favorite fall activity.
Yes, go ahead.
Which is college football, of course. Love
Of course.
it.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
just sitting on the couch watching it, or maybe outside. This evening, it's going to be hot under those Friday night lights, so people got to be careful. Hydrate. You're not going to want hot chocolate tonight.
Oh yeah, no, not tonight. Not tonight. We're definitely going to be a little bit on the toasty side of things, and a little bit on the humid side. We'll take a look at that forecast in just a second, but let's get into our traffic for this morning. Things are still pretty smooth sailing on I-20. We still have a 2-hour commute to get to Dallas and an hour and 30 minutes to get to Shreveport. So far, so good. As far as our US 69 report, it's still in good shape as well. 2.5 hours to get to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes to get to Lufkin. On top of that, weather, nice and smooth sailing all across the board here. CBS19 Live Radar, a nice clean sweep. Not only do we have Friday night football, but we also have the Gregg County Fair still holding on tonight. We will expect temperatures in the upper 80s to eventually fall into the low to mid 80s, so it'll feel a little bit more comfortable out there. Those clouds starting to disappear as the heat of the day starts to kind of wear off, and we can kind of see it in our future skycast. A lot of us staying dry, but a couple of isolated pop-up showers will be a possibility. They will be really limited in coverage and really limited in duration, so anything that develops will be in and out here pretty quickly. Now for your commute forecast, giving you green lights all the way through this morning. All clear for this afternoon. We'll see highs near 93 degrees under partly cloudy skies.
Thank you, Joel. Well, it's 7:15 now. A health alert for you. People with hemophilia have to undergo regular infusions to prevent bleeding. And even then, they have to be extremely careful to avoid any injuries. But as Dr. Malika Marshall reports, a new gene therapy has lifted that burden for some patients.
Terrence Blue was just 9 months old when he bumped his face and developed massive bleeding in his cheek.
My parents freaked out.
Terrence was diagnosed with hemophilia B, an inherited bleeding disorder that can cause anywhere from mild bruising to hemorrhaging into joints, muscles, even the brain. There are two main types of hemophilia, hemophilia A and hemophilia B. Hemophilia B is less common, affecting 1 in 20,000 births. Terrence has a severe form, essentially producing no clotting factor IX. He's needed factor infusions every week his whole life.
I heal slower than the average person. I'm really conscious about things like, bumping into things, taking falls.
But earlier this year, Terrence became one of the first people in the world to receive a new FDA-approved gene therapy.
We've been really excited about this new gene therapy that allows us to take the gene for factor IX, which these people do not have, put it into the liver and get the liver to make a protein that it normally makes in everyone else.
Dr. Nathan Cannell, a hematologist at Mass General Brigham, says once the gene is delivered to the liver, it lives there.
And presumably can continue to produce factor IX indefinitely?
That's the hope.
Since his gene infusion, Terrence went from producing almost no factor IX to 37%, much greater than the 5% needed to prevent spontaneous bleeding.
He no longer has to worry that slipping and twisting his ankle while he's dancing or while he's just doing his normal activities are going to result in a bleed.
I've had a few bumps and bruises, a few cuts and scrapes. They've healed much faster than they have ever, which makes me feel almost superhuman. I think I could be a little more relaxed. I'm not going to go skydiving anytime soon, but...
Nor are most of us. Dr. Malika Marshall, CBS News, Boston.
We talked about it already, but a big rivalry game is coming tonight. We've been talking about it all week long, too. Chapel Hill versus White House. We introduce you to our player of the week, a certified dog out in Chapel Hill. That's coming up next in sports.
CBS19 Sports Report, sponsored by Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Louisiana.
Hey everybody, Dan Millay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. Chapel Hill has been great this year. Surprise, surprise. They're 2-0 and have been doing it while rocking some of the toughest uniforms to look at all season long. I mean, I don't blame them because it's tough to match yellow to another color. And just ask receiver DeMarcion Blaylock. After all, he's been putting that yellow in every color end zone possible, and that's why he's our player of the week.
CBS 19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
Hey, Blaylock, man. Blaylock.
That's a
We might have just found our player of the week next week.
5 touchdowns in week 1. 3 touchdowns in week 2. The only thing that stopped Chapel Hill's DeMarcion Blaylock this season has been when he's forced off to the sidelines when the Bulldogs play defense.
I worked hard, so I had to, do what I had to do.
And when you see him running down the field, it's not just a race against the defenders. It's a race against time. You see, Mr. Blaylock has one goal right now.
I'm trying to become a D1 athlete.
And he hasn't had much time to prove he's a D1 caliber athlete.
He missed 8 games last year with a broken collarbone, so he's got an extra desire, extra hunger about his senior year.
So when his Bulldogs were down by 20 in week 2 to the Gilmer Buckeyes, D1 DeMarcion showed up. He sparked the offense on a 20-yard touchdown, then a 31-yard touchdown. And all of a sudden, it's a close ball game, and the Chapel Hill Bulldogs pulled it out from there. And the schools better start paying attention because Blaylock is calling his shot in week 3.
I do want to score 3 touchdowns and show people like what I really am and who I am against competition.
And he's not going to stop till 4A becomes D1.
Will we see 3 house calls from DeMarcion Blaylock later tonight? You'll just have to tune into Under the Lights to see. But let's check out last night's action. Overton hosting Bowie out of Sims ISD. Scoreless first quarter, but then the Mustangs begin the second swinging. Ryan Hollerman hits Jacob Osborne. Ocho's off to the races. Run, young man, run. No catching Ozzie there. Kid's like a bolt of lightning down the sideline. That 70-plus yard connection puts Overton ahead 7-0 after the extra point. Next Mustangs drive. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hollerman finds Osborne again, this time over the middle for a first down and more, though this possession would end with a turnover on downs. Later on, though, the QB is going to take it himself. Hollerman takes the snap and darts towards the left sideline for a 15-yard gain. Then the Mustangs said, hey, let's keep running the dang ball. Handoff goes to Gabe Miller, and he gone. Miller bursts through the middle untouched to put Overton up 14-0 after another successfully converted extra point, giving the Mustangs a 2-possession lead on what was just a beautiful evening in Beast, Texas. Check out last night's sunset, y'all. Just wonderful. Overton goes on to win this one handily. How about a 34-0 victory for the Mustangs, improving to 2-1 on the season. They'll hit the road to play Maud next Thursday. And out in Wascom, the Wildcats were hosting the Shelbyville Dragons last night. Chris Hernandez fakes a handoff right here, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper. And the Wildcat is going to take this one all the way to the end zone, 57 yards on the run. Wascom goes up early. Later on, Dragons will be with the ball. We're going to do a quick crowd shot here. Got to see how the crowd reacts. They love it. They love it. All right, Dragons with the ball now. Gavin McDonald hands it off to Ronnie Williams. Williams on the carry. That's a 6-yard gain, and it is 1st and goal for Shelbyville, looking for their first win of the season last night. McDonald and Williams try it again. This time, they'll find the end zone. That's a touchdown, and we are all tied up 7-7. Later on, Williams is going to find a hole through the middle, and he'll be taken down by Montez Thompson right before the end zone. He kind of scooted in there, but he was down before he got in there. That's what matters, people. Second quarter, 1st and goal, Dragons. Williams is in for another touchdown this time, and it's 13-7 Shelbyville. In the end, though, the hometown Wildcats take it 21-19. Wascom improves to 2-1. Shelbyville falls to 0-3. And in our Thursday night live streaming matchup last night, a defensive battle between West Rusk and Gladewater ended with the Raiders on top 15-14, and we will have those highlights for y'all tonight on Under the Lights, so tune in. Where else would you want to be? Come on now. That's all the time we have for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
All right, we have some breaking news right now coming out of Nashville. We've been following the breaking news with the Charlie Kirk shooting. I'll tell you about this morning, President Trump saying that the suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting is in custody.
Yeah, according to the president, he has, quote, a high degree of certainty that this is the person that they have been looking for. He announced that live in a Fox News interview report just minutes ago. Now, we are working to learn more information for you, and we will update you once we learn more. We also have a live report with our sister station later in the show. A Longview man will spend decades behind bars after admitting to killing a 66-year-old man and then setting fire to cover it up. 23-year-old Donald Miller Jr. has been sentenced to 40 years for murder and another 20 for arson in the 2023 death of Ronnie Moody. Firefighters discovered Moody's body inside a burning home, but an autopsy revealed that he died from head trauma. Investigators say surveillance video showed Miller going in and out of the house, and in a recorded jail call with his mother, he confessed to hurting someone and starting the fire to hide it. Well, Gladewater police are warning that Kia owners to stay alert after a string of car thefts and break-ins. Officers say they responded to 3 separate incidents just this week, and in every case, a Kia was the target. Now, they're asking drivers to lock their vehicles, remove or hide valuables, and also consider using a steering wheel lock. Parking in well-lit areas or inside a garage can also help. Police say they are working to track down whoever is responsible.
Meanwhile, the Smith County Sheriff's Office says they've arrested the person responsible for destroying a statue of Jesus outside a Smith County church. Authorities say 36-year-old Jordan Gray Clark used a hammer to cause all that damage. Church leaders, that is, at St. Mary Magdalene Catholic Church were shocked to find the statue badly damaged early Sunday morning. Clark has been charged with criminal mischief at a place of worship, which is a state felony, and is being held in the Smith County Jail on a $400,000 bond.
Who's excited about going under those Friday night lights tonight for another week of exciting East Texas Beast Texas football? It's week 3 of high school football season.
3 weeks already, almost a month in. We have some exciting matchups coming up this week, including a huge rivalry to check out. It is their game of the week, Lindale versus Van. It's a matchup of 2 undefeated teams. Lindale coming off a narrow win over Mount Pleasant and is looking to flex its defensive muscles against Van. Yeah, a team that's put up 38 points in the last 2 games. Our Damon Bartonek, well, he's sleeping in this morning because he's going to be live from Lindale later tonight.
Our on-site game takes us to the battle for Lake Tyler. Chapel Hill versus White House. This is a rivalry renewed between these 2 teams. This is where our Under the Lights kickoff show will be tonight from 6:30 until 7. It's going to be a lot of fun out there. It's also going to be pretty steamy.
Yeah. I can't imagine being out there as a football player and exhausting. Drink lots of water.
I was out there last night as a fan, and we want to get over to weather now for an update on your forecast. Steamy. That's the word of the day.
Steamy is definitely the word of the day for sure. We got some pretty nice conditions as far as the sky coverage goes. The clouds are going to start to disappear into the later half of today, but the hot and steamy weather still sticks with us, at least for the start of the games. But as we head into the rest of the game times, well, we'll be dropping into the low 80s and upper 70s by the time we get to the near of the end of the games. So it'll feel a little bit more comfortable out there, but the humidity will continue to stick with us all the way through next week. So that will drive our feels like temperatures up into the upper 90s to even triple digits. So it'll feel very summer-like out there. These are not heat advisory type numbers, but they are still numbers that will cause some issues if you are not careful. So as always, drink plenty of water, electrolytes, stay cool, do all that you need to do as you head out the door today and for the next 7 days. We got temperatures right around, actually just above average for the next 7 days. We do have isolated shower chances in place for today. Couple of random pop-ups will be possible. They will not be very long-lived. As we move into Saturday, this is where it gets a little bit more widespread. A lot more of us will have that chance to see a few more isolated pop-up showers that will be a little bit more widespread. That's why I have a 30% chance of rain instead of a 20%. We'll be down to 92 degrees carrying into Sunday. Most of the shower activity that happens on Sunday will be over in our western parts of the area. So that includes Palestine, Athens, Crockett, those areas. Most of us will be staying dry and we'll be dealing with partly cloudy skies. That will continue into your Monday. Can't rule out maybe another round of stray pop-up showers, especially with that partly cloudy sky. Some of those clouds may turn into rain showers, so that's going to be a possibility for your Monday. We'll be up to 93 degrees by then. Look at the low temperatures. We're now into the upper 60s. That's an indication that the humidity will be just a little bit lower, so I think rain chances on Monday and especially into Tuesday will be very limited. We'll stay mostly sunny all the way through Wednesday, and then another round of storms may be possible. A very, very low end chance, I should say, for Thursday. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joel. I want to recap that breaking news we just told you about. This morning, President Trump saying that the suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting is in custody.
Yeah, according to the president, he has a, quote, high degree of certainty that this is the person they have been looking for. He said that on Fox News in a live interview just moments ago. We're working to learn more information and we'll update you, of course, once we learn more. This is still a developing story. We have a live report with our sister station later in the show. That'll be on CBS19+. If you want to continue with us and hop on there, we'll have the very latest coming out of Utah this morning.
Yes, our streaming coverage continues over on CBS19+. Hope you'll join us over there, and we'll keep updating you from our sister station over in Utah with the very latest on the developments from the president this morning.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all here on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour this morning. Breaking news in the shooting of Charlie Kirk moments ago. President Trump saying the person they've been looking for has been caught. We have a live update from Utah in just a few moments.
Plus, after a long fight at the Capitol, THC products aren't going anywhere, but the rules are changing. Why one shop owner says the age limit is long overdue, and why advocates warn the industry's biggest battle may still be ahead.
And in your forecast, well, it's a hot and steamy one. We could potentially see afternoon feels like temperatures approaching 100 degrees and air temperatures themselves in the low 90s. Plus, we got some rain chances to go over. All those details are ahead in your forecast on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us. On CBS 19 Plus, I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. This morning, Charlie Kirk's body is back home in Arizona after Vice President J.D. Vance flew the Kirk family out of Utah on Air Force 2. You can see the Kirk's wife, that is, Erica, holding hands with Second Lady Usha Vance as they exit the plane in Phoenix. A motorcade then escorted Kirk's casket to a nearby funeral home.
Now, as plans for his service come together, we are learning from the president that a suspect may be in custody. The FBI released this new video of images of the suspect just last night. The suspected shooter was seen wearing sunglasses, a black hat, and a black shirt with an American flag. And surveillance footage at Utah Valley University captured him jumping off the roof as he managed to escape after he fired that single deadly shot.
And this morning we have a live coverage from Orem, Utah, where federal agents have been working to track down the shooter. And it seems, according to the president, they've got someone in custody.
King 5's Jim Nelson is there now and joins us live. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Jim. This all just broke moments ago. What can you tell us?
Yeah, and we're still waiting to hear anything from the officials on the ground here as to whether or not, one, this news is confirmed or if there will be an update coming shortly. But yes, President Donald Trump this morning said that the suspect has been caught. In fact, the quote was, "With a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody." Still no confirmation beyond that. Of course, this investigation progressed rapidly yesterday. The FBI released that new video last night where you saw someone running from one side of the rooftop to another before lowering themselves over the edge and jumping off. In that process, the FBI says he left a palm print and a shoe print. He then ran off through campus. Investigators say eventually into a nearby neighborhood. Surveillance cameras, of course, have played a huge role in this entire investigation. There were pictures released showing the guy in different areas, which really provided investigators with a pretty clear look.
We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing.
So that was the last official word we got from any of these officials here in Utah. That was Utah's governor, and that was last night. So things appear to be developing even faster this morning with President Trump saying that the suspect is in custody. And again, that quote was, "with a high degree of certainty." We may get an official update here in Orem shortly. Of course, we'll be sure to pop on when that happens. I would suspect we'll see some movement here rather shortly, kind of in response to what the president just said. Dana, Jesus.
All right. Thank you, Jim, for that live report. I know all this coming in and changing rapidly this morning.
That's right. While the motive for the shooting remains unclear, it is prompting safety concerns among elected officials. Yesterday, organizers moved the president's 9/11 ceremony, usually held outside the Pentagon walls, to the internal courtyard for his own security. Congressional leaders say they might boost security for lawmakers, as several members of Congress say they worry about their individual events.
I talked to my wife, and she really wants me to start wearing a bulletproof vest.
I like being accessible, but being accessible is starting to look like being vulnerable.
And yesterday, a hoax threat put Democratic National Headquarters in Washington, D.C. in a brief lockdown. Similar false threats have forced several historically black colleges and other universities to cancel classes this week.
Well, people are still feeling the impact of Charlie Kirk's death here in East Texas. The executive director of Living Alternatives says that she hosted Charlie Kirk as a keynote speaker at their annual fundraising banquet in 2022. Living Alternatives is a Christ-centered ministry in Tyler that offers free pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, and mentorship programs for women. Her son is also involved in Turning Point USA and is trying to start a chapter at UT Tyler. He attended a conference with Kirk in Tampa over the summer. Now both are just left shocked by Wednesday's tragic events.
You don't think something like that's going to happen. And so I think it's very sad. And I think the mix of some people you hear were cheering when it happened is awful. It's not who I think we are. And I think that many people, even though maybe didn't agree with them, we have to come to a place. His life is valuable.
She called Kirk family-oriented and deeply influential among young people. She says his message of faith and freedom resonated with many in East Texas.
7:40 now. Time is running out for East Texan's Robert Robertson, who's set to be executed next month for the 2002 death of his daughter Nikki. But his attorneys argue, saying new medical evidence could prove he is innocent. Robertson's legal team has filed multiple appeals, most recently in August, including newly discovered evidence they say challenges how his daughter's death was interpreted medically. And as we told you this week, author John Grisham is writing a book about the case, bringing new attention to Robertson's story.
The real issue here is, can we prevent the atrocity of executing an innocent man and simply give him a new trial when the medical evidence is what this case is about? What has changed is the whole notion of whether shaken baby syndrome is valid science. And so there's every opportunity here to have a new trial using all the evidence that is meaningful and get at the truth.
Well, she's asking the state's highest court to delay the execution and grant a hearing. If that request is not granted, Robertson will be executed on October 16th. Meanwhile, Governor Greg Abbott is in North Texas today. He's expected to sign a controversial new bill this afternoon. It will ban residential property developments from creating what state leaders call Sharia compounds. Supporters say it stops communities from being governed by religious rules, but critics call it misleading and discriminatory. Governor Abbott will sign the bill into law at 2 this afternoon. And meanwhile, as that's happening, hemp-derived THC products will remain legal in Texas, but it will now be banned for minors. Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued an executive order Wednesday.
Yeah, besides ID checks, the order also encourages stronger enforcement of restrictions and stricter testing and labeling. Sydney Walker spoke with a THC advocate and a hemp shop owner about their support of the age gate.
After a long battle in the Texas legislature.
So this would have been legal even if THC products would have been banned.
THC products will remain legal for adults.
Texans deserve the right to choose what we put in our body. We go grocery shopping, we go clothes shopping, and why not go hemp shopping? I don't see anything wrong with that. It's 21 and older.
The age limit is something shop owner Ricky Doyle has wanted for a while.
That should have been taken care of while it was still in session.
In fact, he's already been enforcing it in his store.
A couple of years we've been taking IDs. Signs have been up 21 and up for quite a while.
Local THC advocate Karen Reeves.
It saved my life in every decade of my life in a different instance.
Has also been supportive of the restriction for quite some time.
I'm glad that Governor Abbott took it upon himself to do the executive order. We want to do what's right for Texans, especially for our youth.
But the future is still unclear.
There are other things in the bill that may hurt small businesses, such as, raising the license fees.
Doyle doesn't have a problem with potential licensing fee increases.
I think $20,000 is a little ridiculous, but, we do need to come up a little bit. They need to be able to spend their money to do their job, and they need to have the money to do it.
Reeves says this could hurt smaller shops who may not have the funds.
Family-owned businesses, they're putting their hearts, their lives, everything they have in these products.
She also hopes state agencies improve testing and packaging.
That's a no-brainer. We need that. We need more regulation.
But Doyle says his store's products are already up to snuff. While she's happy with the executive order, she's not ready to celebrate just yet because the industry's fight might not be over.
I'm still a little skeptical.
All right, 7:43 now, taking a look at what's trending this morning. A Texas coffee truck is celebrating the fall season with a menu inspired by the Twilight movies. Check this out. The co-owners of After Some Coffee, now this is in San Antonio, are huge fans of the movies and decided to incorporate the Twilight saga into their business. The themed drinks have funny titles inspired by the characters and some famous quotes as well. Now, that Twilight movie, or the Twilight menu that is, will be available until the end of the month. And by the way, the anniversary of the release of the Twilight book saga will be on September 30th. So it's just in time to celebrate all that greatness of Twilight.
Twilight fans?
I still have not seen it.
You haven't?
I've not seen it.
I'm with you.
I'm saying shocked because I haven't seen it either.
What is wrong with us?
We need to catch up. I know there's a team, someone and team someone, and our news director just booed us for not watching it.
Yes, I've not seen them, but the coffee looked fantastic.
It does. There's, I mean, this is just an ongoing trend with lots of movie or show themed businesses and drinks. Like there's, I think a Harry Potter restaurant or coffee shop just opened in Dallas, but it's temporary for a little bit.
That I've seen.
Yeah,
I have seen
and so that's going to be open up for like maybe a month or two
and
through
I've
October.
seen like at Bath and Body Works, they've done like a Bridgerton series. I don't know if it smells like Bridgerton, but they say it does.
We'll see. It's all in the name of business.
That's right. Humpty Dumpty took a big fall, and now police in New Jersey are trying to figure out who did it. A statue of Humpty was forcibly removed from a mini golf course in Cape May, New Jersey earlier this week and dumped down the street. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Police say they found 2 men on security cam footage entering the course and walking away with Humpty Dumpty. Things I never thought I would say. This is one of them. Police are still looking for them this morning.
So if you know who it is.
Are they just trying to bring the nursery rhyme to life? I don't know.
I guess that sounds like something Happy Gilmore would do.
Yes.
Remember when he got mad in the movie at the mini golf course?
They hate it all out. That's crazy. Hey, check this one next out. Ready?
Anything you're holding on to, this is your opportunity. Going in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, talk about anger, or managing your anger at least, or frustration. In Austin, folks gathered every Sunday just to do this, scream. No sign up, no membership, it's free. Just show up, throw all that frustration out onto the lake and get ready to yell at the sky with a whole bunch of strangers, because why not? No one's gonna judge you. Organizers even give tips on how to scream from your diaphragm so you don't lose your voice. I'm glad they do that, because if I do that, I'm yelling from my throat.
Yes, it's important. That's how you should sing, you should talk, you should do all the things from your diaphragm.
And it's all good for stress relief and just to get also anger out, especially on Sunday. You're getting ready for the work week.
That's not me. That's not when my frustration wants to come out. It's when all those alarms start going off
In the
early in the
morning.
morning. It's like, wah, wah. I'm like, ah!
We have a different kind of frustration. It's crazy.
I usually say, are you serious? Is it already that time?
See, that's why I have like 6 or 7 alarms. One is like,
I do too.
wake up, and then it was like, all right, nudge a little bit. Third one was like, all right, you can sleep in 5 more minutes. And then the last one was like, all right, you got to get your butt
You
up.
got to go.
Right, yeah.
Once I'm here, I'm good. It's just like
The waking up part, that's hard.
That's the hardest part.
We probably need those screamers in our rooms to wake us up.
Oh, that would be good.
Oh my gosh, they're just like a ringtone of them or something.
Oh, goodness gracious. That would be frightening, for sure.
All right, well, we've got some football games happening today.
We do.
You said people might need to pack an umbrella if they're heading out to maybe set up the fields early in the afternoon.
I would, yeah, I would definitely do that. It's going to be really limited in coverage, especially when it comes to those rain showers, but it's a mostly dry forecast, but it's still not a bad idea to have an umbrella just in case. Moving into the next few hours, we're going to be climbing into the low to mid 90s. We'll be at 91 degrees by 2 o'clock. You can see the clouds starting to develop out of the heat of the day. And then we'll start to climb a little bit more into the rest of this afternoon to around 93 degrees. But by game time, we're out of the 90s. We're in the upper 80s in Chapel Hill, Lindale, and Rusk. And as the games go on, we're going to drop in those temperatures even further to the low 80s and upper 70s. And of course, it sounds pretty comfortable, but when you add the humidity in there, it's not really all that great, is it? Now, another thing that's happening for tonight is the Gregg County Fair. Maybe you're not going to football, maybe you're going to the fair. Well, things look to be pretty good there as well. We should be clear overhead, and temperatures will be cooling slightly into the low to mid 80s. Should be pretty comfortable aside, of course, from the humidity. if you're maybe not doing any of that, maybe you want to go swimming. It's pretty good weather to go swimming. A couple of isolated showers will be possible, especially on Saturday. You might be able to squeeze in a little bit of pool time on Saturday, but just know that there's going to be those random heat of the day pop-up showers that may pass over you. It's like a 20 to 30% chance. Sunday is going to be a little bit better, and then Monday should be pretty dry altogether, and temperatures still holding steady in the low to mid 90s. We'll take a look at the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up later.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Joel. Well, a new North Texas school is not like any other. Teachers are not in the classrooms, but instead, it's AI. Up next, a look inside the Alpha School in Plano.
That's scary.
(7:49). Welcome back. A new kind of school just opened in North Texas. It uses AI to teach for just 2 hours a day.
Wild. And top education officials want to know how it works. So Cole Sullivan shows us parts of it that may be coming to your child's school pretty soon.
Hi everyone. I so greatly appreciate you all giving some of your time today to come in.
These parents are here to learn a different way their kid could.
Who is this robot that's teaching my student, right?
The new Alpha School in Plano is looking for students, but it doesn't have teachers.
The curriculum, the AI, is making those decisions on how to adapt their programming in order to fill the gaps that they're missing in order to move on to the next skill.
We want to take smart technology.
Head of Admissions Amelia Baldwin explains students learn from an AI-powered computer program for less than 2 hours a day. But the school promises parents kids will learn 2 grade levels in a single year.
When you look at the results are there.
The rest of the day is for activities led by guides
Part of Alpha is human.
like Vanessa Watson.
So the workshops are all life skills based.
You can go ahead and scan this QR code.
The kind of lessons the parents at this info session say they want.
Where I want my child to gain confidence, independence, and leadership skills.
And the guides act as motivators, giving out tokens and promising treats.
Maybe you and I can go on this special trip when you hit your reading goals.
Plano is one of 10 campuses opening this fall. At a tuition cost of $50 grand a year, it only has 4 students. Big money, but also big attention.
I'm trying to take it all in.
The Secretary of Education just visited the campus in Austin this week, and the head of the Texas Education Agency says parts of the Alpha program may be coming to Texas public schools soon.
I think that families are looking for something different.
You'll learn 2 times as much as at a traditional.
And this school
And you'll do it in just 2 hours a day.
can certainly promise that.
I already learned 2.8x.
In Plano, I'm Cole Sullivan.
It's crazy how fast technology, even just how things are taught in the classroom, has changed even since I was in high school, which wasn't even that long ago, like 5-6 years ago.
Right,
Yeah.
same here, same here.
Here's what I found interesting. First of all, the tuition is $50,000 a year, but that in 2 hours, you can learn far more than you do in a full day. And the rest of it is getting out in the world, which I think is probably kind of good for kids. But I'd like to see how it works, like what the studies look like, you know, in a year. Are they really keeping all that information?
Only time will tell, really.
Can they really digest all of that in just 2 hours?
I mean,
don't know.
something else you mentioned is that hands-on learning. They get the book smarts and the street smarts on learning how to do hands-on stuff that doesn't have to do anything with school.
Both good things.
It's
Both very good
fascinating.
things.
We'll have to see how it all works out. All right, the weather is a little less fascinating to me because it makes my hair crazy.
Yeah, no, it's
Man,
the
mine
humidity.
too.
The humidity is there. Yeah, luckily my hair is okay, I think, but. Yeah, no, for some of us, yeah, it's going to be kind of an issue. Those temperatures and the humidity values are going to be kind of sticking around the same levels here. We have this omega block in our atmosphere that's going to trap high pressure right on top of us for the next 10 days or so. We also do have, on top of the heat and the humidity, some of that will end up developing a couple of heat of the day showers. Most of us will stay dry, so if you do happen to see a shower today, I'm so sorry. Most of us will be staying pretty dry today, though. As we move into Saturday, it'll be a little bit more widespread. More of us will have a chance to see those showers. So I won't be quite as sorry for Saturday because we do have a little bit more widespread of a risk there. For Sunday, only going to be mainly for our western parts of the area. Otherwise, it's going to be just partly cloudy and pretty steamy out there. Our 7-day forecast shows that 20 to 30% chance of rain into Friday and Saturday. And then next week looks to be much drier, but still hot and humid at 93 degrees.
All right, Joel, those temperatures aren't very fall-like, but maybe this will get you in the spirit. It's our question of the day. What's your favorite fall activity? We talked about, pumpkin spice, football, flannel shopping, football games, pumpkin patches, all of it.
Guess how many days it is until fall?
Hold up, what's today?
Today's the 12th.
12. I can't do quick math. I'm going to guess 12, 13?
10.
10. Okay, I was pretty
10
close.
days.
We're 10 days to fall, so these things are like actually within our reach. People are talking over on Facebook this morning, and I love what Lori said. She said sitting around a fire.
Oh,
I'm so ready for that. I mentioned that the other day. I was looking at my fireplace saying, I can't wait to turn this thing on.
Right.
Cozy, cup of coffee, watch some football.
Some s'mores. Make some s'mores. She's not a s'mores fan.
I'm not a s'mores person.
S'mores.
Yeah.
Harold just says enjoying the cool weather. Yeah, we're not there yet, Harold.
Yeah, sorry. I wish I could say differently, but
if we can. See what other people on Facebook are saying this morning. Amy's with you. She says watch football on Saturday. And when it's cool enough, bring the wood heater to stay warm.
I love it.
So nice.
What is it about fall that is just so fantastic? I'm dressed in fall colors today. I'm trying to will it.
Right.
Just trying to enable the weather.
And then
I'll put
Vicky,
that order in for you.
Right. Vicky also saying going to craft shows, especially in the fall. It's that time of season where you can make those crafts, keep them for your house, but also get ahead for your holidays and put them on the Christmas tree.
Well, you just send me some of your crafts because I'm not very crafty over here.
I learn step by step. I'm not the best, but we get it done. We get it done. All right, keep guessing on our or commenting and sharing with us on our Facebook page. Good morning, everyone. We'll be right back after this break.
Good Friday morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for joining us for this news update. Well, as graphic content from Charlie Kirk's assassination continues to spread online, many parents are now facing a tough question: is how to talk to our kids about what they've seen online. An East Texas licensed counselor says exposure to violent political content can deeply affect children, both emotionally and mentally. She calls it political grief and says the most important thing parents can do right now is open the door for honest, judgment-free conversations.
This is not a one-time conversation that a parent or household should have. there definitely should be conversations about these kind of things do happen in everyday life. And for whatever reason that they want to explain it, according to their beliefs to the kid, let them know that it's okay for them to have these raw emotions in response to the trauma that they've been exposed to. Don't make them in fear of having to shelve their emotions with seeing these traumas.
Well, the counselor also emphasized that grief isn't just emotional, it's physical too. She suggests people pay attention to body tension and take breaks from social media when feeling overwhelmed.
A Longview man will spend decades behind bars after admitting to killing a 66-year-old man and then setting a fire to cover it up. 23-year-old Donald Miller Jr. has been sentenced to 40 years for murder and another 20 for arson in the 2023 death of Ronnie Moody. Firefighters discovered Moody's body inside a burning home, but an autopsy revealed that he died from head trauma. Investigators say surveillance video showed Miller going in and out of the house. And in a recorded jail call with his mother, he confessed to hurting someone and starting the fire to hide it. Center ISD has named a new superintendent. The district announced on Facebook yesterday that Jake Henson will step into that role. In the post, district leaders say that they believe Henson's leadership will help guide Center ISD into a new chapter of growth and excellence. And they're looking forward to the vision he brings to students, staff, and the community. And they're also encouraging families to support him as he gets ready to take on that new job.
All right, it is Friday. Lots of people heading out for football. Let's get a check on that forecast with Joel. Good morning.
Good morning. All in all, pretty hot and sticky forecast, although we cannot rule out maybe a couple of showers that may pop up out of the heat of the day. Most will stay dry. Anything that will develop tonight will be pretty quick to just fizzle out, so it shouldn't affect any Friday night football games for tonight. The day for tomorrow does have a little bit more in the way of rain. As far as coverage goes, it has a little bit more in the way of chances of rain all across the area. Again, these are going to be your heat of the day, pop-up, random, scattered showers that are going to be developing out of the heat of the day, but I think most of us will be staying dry. That'll be the same case into your Sunday as well. These are not organized by any means here. Most will stay dry. A couple of us may be seeing a trace amount of rain. It's not going to be all that impactful as we go forward. Your 7-day forecast shows mainly dry conditions and highs near 93.
It is 8:01 now. We continue to follow breaking news this morning out of Utah. President Trump saying the suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting is in custody.
He has a, quote, a high degree of certainty that this is the person they have been looking for. He said that on Fox News early this morning.
Yeah, and we are expecting a press conference any moment now. We will stream that on CBS19 Plus and have the latest on the noon show.
Meanwhile, the Smith County Sheriff's Office says they've arrested the person responsible for destroying a statue of Jesus outside the St. Mary Magdalene Catholic Church in Flint. Authorities say 36-year-old Jordan Gray Clark used a hammer to cause all that damage. Clark has been charged with a criminal mischief at a place of worship, which is a state felony, and is being held in the Smith County Jail.
And Gladewater police warning Kia owners to stay alert after a string of car thefts and break-ins. Officials say they've responded to 3 separate incidents just this week, and in every case, the Kia was the target. They're urging drivers to lock vehicles, remove or hide valuables, and consider using a steering wheel lock. You can also park your car in a well-lit area or inside a garage to help. If you see anything suspicious, you're asked to call 911. Police say they're working to track down whoever is responsible. Another Friday headed your way, and guess what that means?
Football season.
Yeah, we got to go under the lights for week 3.
And we have some exciting matchups coming up, including a big rivalry we've been talking about all week long. It is Lindale and Van facing off in the home of the Eagles out at Eagle Stadium. It is a matchup of 2 undefeated teams. Lindale coming off a narrow win, though, over Mount Pleasant, and they're looking to flex its defensive muscles against the Van Vandals. That team has put up 38 points in their last 2 games. Our Damian Bartonek will be live out there later tonight from Lindale.
And our on-site game takes us to the Battle of Lake Tyler, Chapel Hill versus White House, a rivalry renewed between 2 teams going in different directions. White House coming off a 49-14 beatdown to Kilgore. And now they face off against another Bulldog squad, Chapel Hill, coming off a massive come-from-behind win over the Gilmer Buckeyes. The Bulldogs are also home to our Player of the Week, DeMarcion Blaylock, who scored 8 touchdowns in 8 quarters of football in the last 2 weeks. Impressive. This is also where our Under the Lights kickoff show will be tonight from 6:30 to 7.
And another game on our radar we're going to be at tonight, Newton at Tatum. This one is going to be one of the big tests for the Tatum squad that's coming off a big win over Dangerfield. We saw that on our streaming show last week on CBS19+. Newton is also coming off a huge win against the top-ranked Jefferson, and they will be giving a tough-running Eagle offense a handful to deal with. Robert De La Garza is going to be out at that game later tonight. Joel?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hot and sticky as we move into game time for tonight. It will just be just below 90 degrees by the time it starts, and we'll start to cool into the 80s by the time the games keep on going. But for daytime highs going forward, we are expecting those high temperatures to be about 0 to 5 degrees above average for the foreseeable future. And keep in mind, we are 10 days from our first day of fall, and we're still going to be above average through that time. Couple of shower chances will be possible over the next 3 days. Minorly for today, a little bit more in the way of shower activity for your Saturday, and then a little bit less so for Sunday. But anybody that does get in on these showers are going to see light trace amounts. It's not going to be lasting all that long. Your 7-day forecast shows that 20 to 30% chance of rain into this weekend. We look to hover in the low to mid 90s all the way through this weekend into next week. We've transitioned into mostly sunny skies for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then another round of some pop-up showers and thunderstorms could be possible by your Thursday.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. Check this out. A lifelong Lego fan from Oregon is turning his childhood passion into reality. 20-year-old Alex Solly, a lifelong Lego fan, designed, get this, a colorful 3,300 Lego piece village inspired by homes along the Italian Riviera. Look at that. How cool is that? That's complicated. After submitting his design to Lego and earning over 10,000 votes from his fellow Lego fans, the company approved it and helped perfect his design. And after 3 years after his creation, it is finally in stores to pick up. How awesome.
That's pretty cool. He's got it on the iPad there too.
Yeah, he probably designed it with like the 3D thing. I might have to pick that one up too, because so far I've made Paris and London, and I'm trying to get New York right now. And
Ooh, I would love New York.
That one is nice. It's the Empire State Building and something, I can't remember what else is in there, but I know for sure it's the Empire State Building. But they just have all these like architectural collections, and I want to get them
I just
all.
want to go to where those Legos are.
Right?
Excuse me. Hello. Lost my voice there for a second.
I think Dana needs a vacation to head there.
Yeah, I had a little Seattle Space Needle Lego set. That was kind of fun.
Is that part of the architecture collection?
I think it was, and I remember just building my own. I was, a huge fan of Disney. Y'all know the ride Tower of Terror from Disney World?
Yeah.
I made my own little version with a little elevator that went up and down in the windows and stuff like that. The elevator doors, that is. So.
Was it a set, or like did you build it off?
I built it myself.
That's crazy.
I've stepped on mini Legos.
Oh,
those aren't fun.
That is pretty painful.
It is.
Especially if you lose them, if you're working on it on carpets and then you can't find it. It's a mess.
That's the worst.
That is missing. It's like a puzzle piece. You can't miss that one.
You can't.
You got to have that tiny little Lego to make it work.
Right, the
once
little
it's done,
stud.
once it's done, it is very satisfying that you built all of that.
That's right.
All right, well, thanks so much for continuing your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19+. Make sure to catch the noon show coming up on CBS 19, and of course right here on our Plus channel.
Keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. Here's a look at what's coming up on CBS 19+, and we hope you have a great morning and a wonderful weekend.